Welcome everyone to Monday Morning Morons for August 5th, 2019. This week, let's begin with machine-assisted censorship, because that's the wave of the future, isn't it? Professor develops AI to determine who is spreading misinformation online. Researchers at the University of California, Santa Barbara are developing an artificial intelligence system that will identify whether or not what someone shares on social media is genuine or misleading. Titled Dynamo, Dynamic Multi-Channel Modeling of Misinformation, the project is headed up by UCSB Professor William Wang. Wang specializes in natural language processing, the subsect of artificial intelligence dealing with the computer's ability to process human language. Using this type of analysis, Wang and his team have set out to create a means of analyzing text in social media posts and online articles to reveal information about their origins, as well as individuals who are sharing them. Wang's research will be used to create tools that identify the ideologies, motivations, intended audiences, and affiliations of those sharing information online, according to a UCSB news release. This information will then be used to determine if a post is misleading, clickbait, or whether or not it comes from what UCSB terms established news sites. See what's happening yet? Wang here wants to develop a program that tells us what is or is not true based on whether or not that information comes from a source he deems reliable. And how does he know that information is reliable? Well, the mainstream media reports it, of course. And we all know that media sources like CNN, BuzzFeed, and Vox are 100% reliable and never ever lie to suit a political agenda or anything. This is nothing more than same shit, different day. The old media giants have lost control of the collective narrative and can't control the people's opinion anymore, and they know it. Solution? Just report the unbiased facts and let people draw their own conclusions? Fuck no. Control the internet too. Shape public opinion by controlling the information stream. We'll tell you what to think. You didn't really think this kind of technology would be limited to sussing out hate speech on Crapbook, Twitter, and TheyTube, did you? What's next, Bob? University of Michigan social justice agenda is now spreading beyond campus. University of Michigan is opening a social justice themed high school in partnership with Detroit Public Schools Community District in the fall. The school at Marygrove will focus on social justice and engineering, according to the Michigan Daily. You thought everyone was overreacting to this social justice threat, didn't you? You thought we were all chicken littles screaming about the sky falling when we warned you that they were going to be brainwashing your kids with this ideological bullshit, didn't you? Well, sorry folks, but we weren't kidding. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Because they know if you let people grow up and develop critical thinking skills before you introduce them to this puritanical horse crap, they won't believe it. Because none of it's true. The problems they bitch about aren't real. The people they blame aren't the cause. The solutions they pitch fix nothing. And the equality they want to create is anything but equality. So they want to get to the kids before they can figure that out and count on confirmation bias to make sure they go through the rest of their lives believing the bullshit. Just like the Soviets did. Just like the Chinese do. Just like the damn Nazis while we're at it. Get the kids and you've got the future. Do you think they're going to stop at high school? It's so important for students to have the ability to be an advocate, not only for themselves, but for people in their community or people around the world, Hannah Whitman said. Teaching that as young as high school or even younger is really empowering for them. Nope. They're going to filter this insanity all the way down to the very first time you drop your kid off at a public school to learn something. This isn't a fight about today. This is a fight over tomorrow. Right now, the crazies are winning, and they know it. All right, Bob, moving along. Seattle area councilman, hosing poop-covered sidewalks might be racially insensitive. What? Why? How? Do certain races of people not like clean sidewalks or something? A councilman in Seattle is reportedly opposed to hosing sidewalks that reek of excrement near a local courthouse because he fears that it might be racially insensitive. No, this is not a joke. The area surrounding King County Superior Court includes a homeless shelter and other social service organizations and has become an unsanitary and potentially frightening scene, one that reeks of urine and excrement, according to an article in the Seattle Times. Desperate for help with the disgusting environment, 2 of the court's judges have asked the city to please power wash the poop-covered sidewalks. That seems like a pretty reasonable request, but apparently one councilman is worried that doing so might be a form of a microaggression. According to the Times, Councilmember Larry Gossett said he didn't like the idea of power washing the sidewalks because it brought back images of the use of hoses against civil rights activists. That's all you got, huh? Hoses were used to do something bad once, so that's it. No more hoses till the end of time because that might remind someone of something. Good grief. Get out of here with that shit. Come back when you've had a think and can at the very least come up with a real reason why you think it's preferable to leave the city's homeless shelter and social services area covered in feces. I mean, I'd have thought maybe those people have enough problems to deal with and they might appreciate not having to reside in their own shit. But hey, what the fuck do I know? I'm just a privileged white male, right? You're the minorities expert, right, Mr. Gossett? Toxic time, Bob. Oh, okay. So you let Gopher's World on Mines do your job for you again. Oh, and I totally believe you. No. Boy 6 sells lemonade to take mom on date after dad died. This is a story about how a lemonade stand created from tragedy had a sweet ending. After his father died of colon cancer, a 6-year-old in Colorado opened a lemonade stand to raise money to take his mom on a date and to help fund research. My dad and I came up with the idea of a lemonade stand to take my mom on a date because I didn't have enough money and I wanted to pay, so I did. Brady Campbell told Fox 31 in Denver. He decided to charge 25 cents, or best offer. A police officer noticed a crowd had gathered and the officer alerted other first responders. It was amazing. You could feel the warmth and energy and such a positive thing in such a tragic time for us, his mom, Amanda, said. Brandon, her husband, was a savvy businessman and wanted to teach Brady all of those lessons, and I could just see it happening. It made my heart really happy, she said. The boy raised $244 on the first day, and a neighbor created a virtual lemonade stand on GoFundMe. A small portion of the money raised will go toward the date, while the rest will be donated to the Brandon Campbell Memorial Fund at the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus and to the support group Colintown. Brady is thinking sushi and ice cream for the first date with his mom, which they'd like to make a regular event. Maybe we will have our Friday night date night, she said. Oh my God, Bob, what a terrible story. This might be the single most horrible display of toxic masculinity I've ever seen. Sweet? Oh, you naive little pumpkin. Don't you see what just happened here? That deceased man taught his son that women simply can't go out without a man to escort them, and that a man has to earn money to buy a woman's affections, even his own mother. This kid is now just another tool of the patriarchy. And that poor oppressed woman putting on a brave face and pretending that this is all cute and sweet. When her husband died, she thought she was finally free from the oppression, but nope. She's been passed along like property to her son. She'll never be free of the male dominance. Of course you think it's sweet. You're a simpleton, Bob. You don't have a gender studies degree. All right, what's funny this week? Cop accuses McDonald's employee of biting his food. Forgot that he bit it himself. Come again? In this case of who bit my burger, it turns out it was the cop the whole time. In a strange twist, an Indiana police officer is apologizing to a McDonald's after accusing someone at the restaurant of taking a bite out of his food. Apparently, the officer had taken the bite himself before rewrapping the sandwich to save it for later, and forgot that he had done so. Good grief. I hope they made you pay for the fucking time your fellow officers had to put in on this investigation. And maybe we should fine you for wasting police time, too. We need to work on your sense of humor, Bob. That wasn't funny, it was just freaking sad. That's because you're a mental case. That's it for this week, folks. Remember the social justice mantra: women are victims, men are oppressors, and feminism is just about equality. I'll see you all next time.